chapter in Ecclesiastes reminds us that there is nothing new under the sun. That is to say that everything that you and I go through has been gone through in times past. Lauryn Hill rapped on her album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, everything you did has already been done. There's nothing new under the sun. There is somebody, if not right here, right now, but down through the annals of history, who might look at what you and I go through and are saying, been there, done that. There is nothing new under the sun. In other words, as my grandmother Beulah Powell might say, you ain't the only one. There is nothing new under the sun. And the good news is that if nothing we go through is new, there is proof that what we are going through, we will get through. Y'all don't hear me this morning. This isn't the message, but let me stop for a moment and encourage somebody that what you are going through, you will get through. Because if God has brought somebody through that thing before, surely God can bring you through it now. I feel like preaching today.
All right.
There is nothing new under the sun, including supremacist states. Germany under the rule of Hitler, supremacist state. Russia under the rule of Stalin. Italy under the rule of Mussolini. Uganda under the rule of Idi Amin. Iraq under the rule of Saddam Hussein. Y'all see where I'm going with this? And I'm not going to spend precious time talking about our nation and current administration. You watch the news. And I only have about 15 minutes before y'all start dozing off or thinking about how fast we got to get to the We Are family.
That's all right.
But needless to say, we are living in a supremacist state. A supremacist state where corruption, collusion, and cronyism is the order of the day. A supremacist state teeming with narcissism, nepotism, and narrow-mindedness. A supremacist state where policies promote political agendas and not the physical, financial, and educational prosperity of all people. A supremacist state where, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, there are 953 active hate groups in these United States. A supremacist state where even the most unjust politicians are jumping ship because the low of human ethics and morality has reached an all-time low. Unless we think the supremacist states are a modern convention, our passage for today proves that there is nothing new under the sun, including supremacist states. The folks living in the 15th year of the reign of Emperor Tiberius knew something about supremacist states. Emperor Tiberius, Pontius Pilate, Herod Antipas, his brother Herod Philip, Lysanias, High Priest Annas, and High Priest Caiaphas. Luke calls the roll and positions us in a particular time, chronos, and not just biblical history, but in human history. Tiberius was the second emperor of Rome, a conquestor known for being dark and somber. He did some good work, but later became so apathetic and aloof that he left the administration in the hands of some unscrupulous folks. Pontius Pilate, historians paint him as a ruthless tyrant, and Jesus called him a fox, that is cunning and crafty. According to the ancient writings of Josephus, Pilate misappropriated funds, among other things. And if you read further in the Gospel of Luke, we see firsthand the cowardice and complicity of Pilate in the execution of Jesus. Herod Antipas, the son of Herod the Great, he took no concern for human life, especially when it threatened his own power. Luke didn't say it, but Matthew lets us know that he put a hit out on all the boys 2 years and under. State-sanctioned killing of brown children. There is nothing new under the sun.
All right now.
Herod was responsible for the execution of John the Baptist and played a prominent role in the execution of Jesus. And he was plagued with family scandal. In fact, he was divorced more times than our current president. Herod Philip, the other son of Herod the Great, he was quiet and moderate, but proof that nepotism will get you in positions of power that skills and talent won't. Lysanias, a relatively unknown ruler of Abilene, High Priest Annas and Caiaphas, both of whom served the most important political role outside of governor. They colluded with the Romans, to bring
All right
Jesus
now.
to trial.
All right now. All right now.
And even though Annas was removed from the position as high priest after 10 years, he continued to have influence long after his tenure, pulling the political strings of his 5 sons and his son-in-law, Caiaphas. Supremacist states are a troubling but historical reality. And let's be clear, supremacist states are not only about our nation and politics. That would be too simple. You can have a supremacist state on your job where folks take advantage of you, especially when they know that you are a child of God. Or when you get overlooked for a promotion because of the color of your skin or your gender or where you are from or your accent or your name. You can have a supremacist state in your home where you are devalued and dehumanized. There are households, not mine, thank God for Brother Joseph. But there are households where women are treated as second-class citizens and children are seen as pawns. You can have a supremacist state in your church where some are more valued than others. Power is wielded unfairly. Side deals are made to advance the cause of a few. Blind eyes are turned to heinous habits and deceitful dealings because of position and money. And it may not be the case at New Hope Baptist Church, but it sure is happening at Calvary Fellowship World Ministries. I watch Greenleaf, y'all. Supremacist states. You can even have a supremacist state in your mind. I love having children. I learned so much through them that I didn't know before. Last week we were watching a nature show, and I recently learned about the brown-headed cowbird. The brown-headed cowbird is named such because it follows herd of buffalo. What struck me about the cowbird is that they are brood parasites or nest parasites. I'm talking about supremacist states in your mind. Nest parasites are birds that lay their eggs in other birds' nests. And they lay a lot of eggs, too. They lay about 1 a day for 30 to 40 days. They sit high above, scouting out the nest of another bird, removing that bird's egg and replacing it by laying their own. And when they lay their egg, they continue on with the buffalo, leaving the host mother bird to raise their young. And now the young of the cowbird are generally stronger and bigger and more aggressive than the native bird's young. And they're so aggressive that they end up getting more care than the native bird and more food than the native bird. And often the nest owner's young don't survive and the baby cowbird does. These nest parasites lay their eggs at the expense of the nest owner's eggs. Let me see if I can make this plain. Somebody in here is dealing with a supremacist state in your mind because people came to you with their negativity and their anger and their issues and their anxieties. They came to you with their fears and their doubts and they dropped them off with you. And now your hope and your joy and your peace and your dreams and your aspirations have not survived. It's like the story that Jesus told when the unclean spirit goes and brings 7 other spirits with it. And the person is worse off than they were before. Supremacist states are a troubling but historical reality. But the good news, and this is my second point, is that the sovereign God speaks and acts in the midst of supremacist states. And supremacist states are no match for the sovereign God.
Amen.
It's in the book, y'all.